Omicron. I'll take my chances, thanks. This new variant has come through, and to be brutally honest, it hasn't fazed me in the slightest. I'm not too concerned personally. Liz, Michael, how are you guys?
We're good, thanks. I'm good.
I'm very good, apart from having to wear a mask again.
Yeah, back to the mask wearing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? We want to know what you guys think. I mean, what do you think about the Omicron now, they call it?
Yeah, Omicron.
Omicron.
I'm just trying to find it.
Variant.
I say moronic because it's an anagram for moronic, so I just say moronic.
All right, guys, before we begin, you cannot change anything unless you're willing to understand it, and you cannot understand it unless you're willing to explore it. A good debate doesn't get ugly. We may talk of things that make people feel vulnerable. Beliefs held sacred may be challenged because of life experiences. We're not trying to make people wrong or to incite riot, but simply explore. Welcome to the Elite Thinking Club. Welcome everyone everywhere. Just before we begin talking about this new variant, just want to say that we've reached 255 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is a great achievement so far. So thank you guys so much for supporting us and following us on this journey. We really value you guys. And if you haven't done so already, hit the like and hit the subscribe button as well, because obviously you then become part of the Elite Thinking Club.
Part of the family.
Yeah. Right, Michael, Liz. I mean, we started talking about this behind the scenes and we just said, right, go straight in with this episode. So let's talk about the first thing that sparked this whole thing, like sparked the Elite Thinking Club, which was COVID. I got to a place where I was like, you know what, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this openly and honestly so I don't go crazy. I am of belief that there is a control agenda within our governments, and they implement mission creep. And if you haven't done so already, guys, you should watch some of our previous episodes from the start when we talk about all this kind of stuff, just so you get some kind of context of where we're all coming from. But now fast forward, what, almost 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
And here, outbreak of Omicron, or this new variant.
Moronic.
Moronic. Yeah, let's just call it moronic.
Moronic.
So to fast forward 2 years, and like as the title suggests, I'll take my chances, thanks. No vaccine for me.
We are walking, talking miracles. I mean, I don't wear a mask. I'm not vaccinated, and I don't use the hand sanitizer due to the toxic chemicals. I use my own soap and water. And I'm still alive. I'm still here. And
Are you sure?
we have 99.98% chance of getting it and being okay from it. So I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
Michael,
how do you stand?
Well, I'm the same. So the only people I know that's got COVID so far, personally, I've heard of 3 people without it and they're fine. 1 person who had the jab that died, which was my mum. So I'm kind of done with it. And the fact that now I've got to wear another mask for work, it's just annoying. And then people again are coming in like, just wear a mask or don't wear a mask. I've said this before, but just coming in and doing that isn't wearing a mask. So you're not exactly helping people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys on this totally. It's ridiculous how I'm feeling some kind of, I don't know, social pressure and stigma to be seen as selfish, a little bit ignorant or whatever. And it's like, but the reality is I've lived 2 years now during this whole pandemic and I haven't caught COVID. I'm doing absolutely fine. Why am I now being kind of pushed into like this control agenda? I want to talk about the control agenda. I'm talking about that. Wear the masks, get the jabs, this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm thinking, I'm at a stage now, right? Just hear me out. 2 years, I haven't had the jabs. 2 years, I've been living amongst this pandemic in my country, which is the UK, and I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Doing fine. I'll take my chances, thanks. Like,
I feel like it's been brought back in again because I feel like the government feel like they're losing control and that people are starting to, people are fed up with it. but also I feel like it's a divisive tactic. It's the whole mask wearers, non-mask wearers. It's the whole vaccinated, unvaccinated. And I have never in my lifetime, in my history of watching the TV, I mean, I switch the news off anyway, but from what I hear and what I see on social media, never ever have I seen so much push for a medical treatment and getting vaccinated and boosters like I have witnessed in the past year and a half. It's extraordinary, and it's mind-blowing to think why when
on the radio today, loads of times he said, "Oh, get a vaccine, get a vaccine."
Yeah, it's all the adverts, all the propaganda, all the adverts. It's just crazy.
It is. And you know, we as a podcast like to explore things. We definitely go to the depths of the mind. Like, we want to, in a sense, truth seek. We're trying to explore so we can bring out these thoughts and knowledge, share the knowledge. Like, if you're watching now and you know something that we don't know, put it in the comments. Let us know what you feel like. For all we know, we could be wrong. We could be completely wrong, and that's okay, because we're exploring. So if you're watching now and you're thinking these guys don't know what's going on, this is what's actually going on, put it in the comments and let us know, because it will help. And
talk about comments
anyway.
We've got some comments.
Go on.
CJ Dalton said, "Time to just get on. We are living with COVID now, and we will be. So let's just crack on with it."
100%.
And then they also put anagram for no crimbo.
Yeah. So many people have said that. That's so true.
And then Clive has said, "Hello."
Hello.
I love
so some people who might be watching might not know, the information they may have received about this moronic may just be from obviously the UK government. So just to, clear up or give some sort of actual information regarding it, the doctor that actually discovered and first spotted the variant, Omicron, Dr. Angelique Coetzee, she's the South African doctor. And she says that the patients that she has seen so far have had extremely mild symptoms. And over in South Africa, they are feeling that this is a tremendous positive breakthrough, because it's showing that the virus is weakening. And no, there's been no hospitalizations in South Africa from Omicron variant. All the people that have it have the symptoms and they're at home and they're extremely mild. So, I don't understand why the UK are starting to panic unnecessarily over something they don't have enough evidence or information on. And the evidence that they do have so far is extremely mild. So I don't understand where the panics come from.
Yeah.
And especially we've had such an uptake of vaccinations in this country. Why are they panicking? Because surely if the vaccines are effective and these boosters that they're pushing are effective, why then cause extra fear and panic in people to rush out and get more injections?
Because Boris
it's just starting to feel like then it's starting
Boris admitted the other day that they still spread even with the vaccine.
Yeah, and it just feels like all we're ever going to have every like couple of months, three months, is fear tactic, press conference, rush out and get an injection again. And it's like, how many injections do people have to have before they're actually like, do you know what? This has got to stop at some point. Like, we've got to learn to live with it. We've got to get on with our lives.
Yeah, like, I'm okay, thanks. I'll take my chances. Now, we're not saying you shouldn't get the vaccine.
No,
I'm not saying that.
It's your choice what you choose to do. Absolutely.
Correct. And if you want to go around wearing a mask, that is also your choice, because it isn't so much even about a mask. Like, if you have, like, for religious purposes, or it's your belief that you want to wear, or a face covering, wear a face covering. No one's telling you can or can't do that. But what I'm not having is someone trying to tell me I should do it.
Yeah, it's the coercion and the manipulation into doing these things. You should not be coerced and manipulated into wearing or taking anything that you don't wish to. That coercion, that's not choice then, is it? That's not choice when you're being coerced and manipulated.
For those that don't know, a law has been passed recently in Greece. Is that right, Liz?
Yes,
right.
Today.
Explain to our viewers what has just happened in Greece, which, by the way, it's shocked me massively.
I thought she was lying. I thought she was joking.
So basically, in Greece, if you are over 60 and unvaccinated, you have to pay a monthly €100 fine per month to the Greek government beginning of next year, 2022, January 2022. The Prime Minister announced today that they are declaring the country's first general inoculation mandate. And if you do not undergo the mandatory vaccinations, you will have to pay the Greek government, if you live in Greece and you're a Greek citizen, €100 per month in order to have medical autonomy over your body. And by saying no to the vaccination, you've got to pay your government €100.
And
it's
that is
your
it in a
choice
nutshell.
what you do with your body. But if you choose to not do what they're coercing you to do, you've got to pay them €100. How on earth, one, is that even logical? Two, that breaches so many human rights, it's unreal. How on earth are we in this day and age, 2021? And this is actually in our news, and this has actually happened today. My mind is like...
We totally, like, both when we and Michael heard this, just like you've probably just heard this now, you might even be aware of this now, but like, let us know what you think about that. Imagine the UK government, like, obviously, like, for those in Greece, what can I do? I can't do much for you. Obviously, you're in that situation. But one thing I will definitely do, if they try and do it here in the UK, I won't fucking have it. I'm not going to feel or made to be fined, like, for not agreeing with this bullshit. Like, I'm not putting something in my body I don't want in my body, right? And then being told you're going to pay €100 a month if you don't do it. What that is there are some people who aren't as strong-willed as me or others like me, and they will just submit because they don't want to, or they probably can't afford to pay $1,200 a year for not having a vaccine.
Those people at that age in Greece, over 60s, they're predominantly retired. They're not going to be able to, surely they're not going to be, like, they're not even going to be able to get that money out of those people. So I don't get how this mandate is even going to work, because...
But this is the thing, if they can't
forced
pay,
prison.
they will get vaccinated, won't they? Like, they're
or face prison for not paying the fine. And this is where it's like, you get locked up for not doing what they... Why do they... Let's just strip this all back here and think objectively. Why do they need everybody to be vaccinated continuously? Why? Think about it. Why?
Because big governments, no, not governments, big
because they
drug
can't bring in
companies are
that,
getting paid.
Yeah, that big pharma, but also they can't bring in that passport certification without us all participating in it and bring in the digital currency and all of that, which is floating about, and you know, we've looked into and heard and we've spoke about. But why do they have to get to the point where they have to threaten people with fines and prison and God knows what else next for not being vaccinated? It's really...
It does make you question a lot of things. But one thing for sure, which I'm going to say here live on Facebook and the Elite Thinking Club, and I don't mind saying it at all, bring that shit here and I'm not fucking having it. Chris Jules Julian, I'm not fucking having it. Woo! Now, people would be like, Jules, we know what you're like. And yeah, you know what I'm like. But sitting back at home saying this shit is very different from taking to the streets. This isn't me trying to rally people up and say, right, let's go out and start some madness. What I am saying, though, is if we submit to this bullshit, right? If we submit to this bullshit, we are putting ourselves for the foreseeable future in a state of neediness, right? And that isn't the case. All right, because we're in it together. And it isn't a case of like, oh, Jules, if you can't afford it, then that's your fault. Or Jules, you're over 60, or all these flipping labels and little ways that they can like loophole this bullshit. Fuck that. It's an immediate no. I'm like Simon Cowell on the X Factor. It's a no from me.
Yeah, it's a no from me, 100%. And I get frustrated though, because like, even just knowing that that's happened today, that the Greek president has done that, and that's starting as of next year. I mean, there's got to be uproar. That we've got to fight against it, because the fact that if they tried to do that 2 years ago, if they tried to implement that from day one, there would have been a huge uproar. But the fact that they've crept in, they have been able, the mask is a symbol for them to see who will comply.
Yeah.
They are now able to see, well, we've done this, now boom, we're gonna find you if you don't do what we say. What's the next one from that? We have to stop it, because it's not going to stop if we keep allowing them to do it. And it's really quite phenomenal,
and
really.
Like a lot of people will most likely say, look, someone has to take responsibility, someone's got to make these decisions, right? And I've said this in previous episodes, right? Sometimes you're not the best suited person to run a country, and that is acceptable, that's fine. However, one person doesn't speak for everyone. And when you do have a majority, and I say this strongly, a majority saying fuck that, you should listen, because there it's it's like, it's the ratio of what your people are saying. It's, again, boils down to agenda of specific individuals. Now, I want to talk about specific individuals moving forward on this, right? Because we at the Elite Thinking Club talk a lot about conspiracies, and that always takes us down the tunnel, down the rabbit hole of ruling elites, control agenda, mission creep. And if you haven't done so already, watch these previous episodes, right? And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button too, because we're going to keep this going.
If we're allowed.
Yeah, if we don't get shut down. Which we actually had an episode, didn't we, from YouTube get bin. But anyway, let's not talk about that. That was our first warning. That was our first caution early on. So we censor what we say sometimes. But no, what's going on right now that a lot of people aren't talking about, but are very aware, is it Maxwell? Giselle? Is it Giselle?
Ghislaine Maxwell's trial.
Yes.
It started yesterday, and it's probably one of the biggest sex trafficking trials in history. And we're not hearing anything about it on the mainstream media.
So if this is the first time that you're hearing about this, get on Netflix and watch Filthy Rich, right? It talks about Jeffrey Epstein and his untouchable pedo rings that was running for years, right? Years. And people with a lot of money, and it's not what you know, it's who you know. His connection, right, globally, yeah, he was sex trafficking. He had his own flipping private country where he was the king of the land. He could do anything he wants. And there are hundreds of women coming out saying how unbelievable the stuff he was getting away with, right? So check that episode out check that documentary out on Netflix, and then you'll know exactly what we're moving on to, which is the trial of, what's her name again, Liz?
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Right. This lady was Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman. She basically was his bottom bitch as far as pimping hoes go. Not that I know anything about pimping hoes, you know, but I'm just saying most pimps have a bottom bitch, and that is the most reliable woman in his circle of fucking fleet of hoes, right? She would get other hoes to join. So she's now on trial. And just so you know, Jeffrey Epstein did get taken down. He got sentenced. He got put in prison. And within a week, the man's hung himself, right? Now, apparently hung himself in prison. Now, just so you know, also, I know I'm talking a lot, guys. I'm just, you know, we're just flowing. There have been images of royal family being seen with underage women in Jeffrey Epstein's, you know, pedo ring stuff, and it's exposed. So it isn't like this isn't evidence. It isn't like they can deny this shit. Now, this is going on right now. And I believe a lot of whistleblowing is going to happen. A lot of names going to be called out. There is like a list of so much like CEOs of companies. Liz, I know you said this earlier, and I'll let you crack on with this, but they're resigning. They're stepping down from CEOs of major companies because their names are on the list. You'll be very surprised at how many of your favorite celebrities and favorite actors are also on that list. You'll be very, very surprised. Well, actually, you might not even be surprised. It doesn't surprise me. But why do we get so passionate about it? Why am I so passionate about it? What can I do about it? Well, the reality is, guys, is you need to keep on top of this shit, because the moment you make them feel that they're untouchable and they can't be held accountable and we, the public, are okay with it, is the moment they feel like they can get away with it. And they fucking can't. This is what I'm saying. They can't. Because if it was you and I, we're banged up quicker than you can say pedo.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Liz, talk about these CEOs that stepped down. What is this?
So the CEO of Twitter and the CEO of Walmart and the CEO of CNBC, I think it is, all resigned at the start of this trial. They've all resigned, and according to court documents, they are named either as attending flights or attending the island of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know how you pronounce it. So basically, these three big corporations, all of their CEOs have stepped down and resigned at the same time as the start of the trial. So crazy, but again, that hasn't been their resignations, which would normally make the news, haven't made the news the same as the trial. It's all connected. You follow the money trail. It's all connected. You know, the more money they have, the more status they have, the more power they have, the more untouchable they think they are. And, you know, I mean, you just look at the famous royal that is involved in this case. If that was any normal person, like you just said, Jules, if it was yourself or Mike or any other guy, you would be hung dry for that. You would be up in court. You would have been in court by now. You would have been in court by now. You wouldn't have been sitting there doing interviews for the TV.
For real.
You know, you wouldn't have. You would have been in a police station, questioned, bailed, and then back, you know, to answer bail, and then up in court.
Yes, and this is why there's this stigma that people believe they have no power. You don't have any power. You can't say nothing because, you know, the ruling elite, the money is power, all that shit. But what you don't understand, have you seen the film Bug's Life? When the ants clock on, like, we outnumber them however much, like, all we got to do is just stand up.
Together we are stronger.
Totally. 100%. And they definitely know that. There is a line they can't cross. And the more we're openly talking about it, the more it does reach. Like, apparently you're 7 people away from Kevin Bacon or something. So you are connected. So everyone's connected. And ultimately,
we should do something like that. Find out how close we are to people.
But the word will get back to them, and then they're gonna wise up. They're not stupid. Now, we know that a lot of whistleblowers get taken out of the game. We know whistleblowers that reach a certain status do get crucified publicly. You got your Michael Jacksons, you got your JFKs, you got your Princess Dianas. We did episodes on this. We still talk about this, and we're not going to stop talking about this because it is so important for our next generations to not lose their power. There is go on, Michael.
I know this. I want to. 2 things. I want to keep up with the comments, and I want to say something. So there's quite a few comments from Laura. So let me just go through. So when we talk about COVID, said it's underhanded force, and on the most vulnerable and often not financially stable elderly people. Normally, any participation makes the madness normality, and this cannot be the norm. And as she says, now talk about this, there's no real justice. Hang on, I went on. They can shut you down, you and I down on the assent sites, yet the red rooms and pedo rings continue and are not shut down, says it all. And then when feeling defeated, we are easier to win over. It's all part of the manipulation.
Do not feel defeated.
That was 1 point. Second point, I know it's not in this episode, but get his book. Just because I like it, get his book.
Nice one, Michael. Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, that book is from an episode that we've done with Aaron, Aaron Welsh, active Aaron, and basically a guy who has been in a coma and battled hell to be here today, survived a life-threatening condition, infection, and it's a very good read. You're right. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I put that in this one. I had to say it because I still love it.
I love that we go off on tangents. I think that's great.
It is good.
And we're putting you back in.
And now we're back in. Yes. Yeah. So, okay. I'll take my chances. Thanks. This is all kind of intertwined because, you know, mainstream media are owned by who? Well, I'm just going to leave that open question. Mainstream media are owned by who, or is owned by who? And it's always about the agenda, because I don't know if you've noticed, but news is being censored to us in the UK about other countries, like especially during COVID. It's happened because I remember there used to be a time I could go online and I would see so much news about the world. Whereas recently now, I look to, you know, my Google search or something, and it seems to be only about the UK. Now, I don't know if that's like an algorithm that understands why would I want to know about the rest of the world, just worry about what's going on in the UK. But the reality is back to this new variant, like Liz said, it was discovered by a guy in Africa. Is that
it
right,
was
Liz?
actually a lady. It was a lady, and Dr. Angelique Coetzee. She's a South African doctor. Yeah, and she said it's extremely mild, so she doesn't understand why the UK have created panic in the people again. But yeah.
And then obviously the breaking news in Greece. And this is so important because it should start ringing alarm bells in your ear about what could potentially happen in your country. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the British public. I know that we're stubborn as fuck. And I also know that we love each other when it comes to shit like this because we are united. There's something awesome about being British. There really is. When it comes to it, it's like, if we ain't fucking having it, we ain't fucking having it. And I
we
love
are
that.
not having it.
I love that.
Do you think?
Don't think we're the only ones like that because
no, I mean worldwide, globally.
Like, do you think they're trying to make us panic, like they're saying about this, because then we might think that we're going to go into lockdown soon, so then we're going to rush to buy presents for Christmas.
Yeah, get the boosters, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because that would happen, wouldn't it? Because if people panic and buy stuff for Christmas.
I do feel though, I have so much faith in humanity. I won't give up my faith in humanity because I think without faith, we don't have hope, and we need hope. We need hope in life. And I have tremendous amounts of faith in humanity that we will unite, that we will stand together. And I do feel like more and more people are waking up. Yes, there are people who are still living in fear, and I feel so much empathy and compassion towards those because I hate that they feel that way. I hate that they've been manipulated and coerced and scaremongered into feeling petrified and fearing death over something that, you know, we shouldn't be fearing now. We've got all of these vaccines and boosters, and, you know, I'm not promoting them, far from it. But what I'm saying is, if that makes people feel better by going and getting them, and it kind of dilutes their fear, and it helps them live like as normally as possible, and do things and see their family. I know there's people that still haven't seen their family, and they still won't, and they won't be spending Christmas with their family. They're cancelling having their family around through fear because of what the UK government have gone on the TV and said, or on the radio this week alone. And I really feel for those people, and I get really cross about it because I just think, how dare those people in power who don't really care about us. They don't know us personally. They don't care. But I might not know these people personally, but I do care that they're made to feel like that. And I've got nothing to gain. I've got nothing to gain. And I just, for me, I get really frustrated, and I will fight for humanity till I take my last breath.
I love that about you, Liz. Like, we love that about Liz, don't we, guys? Like, if you are thinking what we're thinking, or even if you're not, just put it in the comments, let us know, because it's so important to have this explored. We need to hear it, because if we're not talking about it, what they're doing is silencing us. And it's that silence that when you're not expressing how you feel or talking about it, or you're in your own head about it, and everyone knows that we are biologically, we're like our own flipping worst critics. We will think ourselves into depression, and that's not about it. We're not about that. We shouldn't be about that. What bugs me is, right, adding on to what you just said there, is the double standards. It breaks my heart when you see people telling people one thing but not leading by example. They're not doing what we've seen this in the past. Like I said, we've been now in the pandemic for nearly 2 years, and we've seen people telling people to do one thing but not doing it themselves. We got in the Houses of Parliament, like, they're all squished in.
They were partying today. They were all partying today. And yet they did the mask, no masks or nothing. Yet last night they were going on the news telling people they've got to do this, do their bit for their country, you know, do their bit to save their loved ones. Hold on a minute, where are you? You know, teaching awards on Sunday. They're the teaching awards, 2021 teaching awards, no mask in sight. Yet all of those teachers are going to school on Monday to implement mask mandates on children. I don't think so. No, thank you. Because and this is the thing. It's good that we're exploring this, and it's good to have open debate, to have critical thinking, and to talk about stuff. We should be able to question it.
Yeah.
What's happening at the moment is if you get journalists in those conferences that ask the questions that we're talking about or we're asking, they get shut down and removed. You're only allowed to ask the questions that are scripted and that you are told to ask, which is promoting the fear, promoting the jabs, promoting all of the agenda. We should be able to have open debate like we are now.
Yeah. And even if you don't want to talk, Michael, even if you don't want to talk about it, just be in a place where you are at least close to the fire. Keep close to the fire and you will stay warm. Like if you're ignorant about it, if you don't want to hear about it and you just want to get on with your life, fine. But you cannot then, what's the word I'm thinking about? You cannot then come from a place where later on down the line say blame. You can't blame. Do you get what I'm saying? It's because where were you when we're trying to push the social, mindset towards the idea that we're all in it together. Granted, we're not in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. And this is something that I truly believe, that the ruling elite or whoever these government officials are and whoever these people are, like, who believe they've got some sort of power, or manipulate. I don't even know. I don't want to say the wrong words, but the ultimate of it is at what point do they think, if I don't treat my people right, there goes the whole system? Because the system's very good. We've worked very hard to create this system. It's very good. In actual fact, we're living a life of luxury. I can have an avocado every day if I want. That's one of my favorite sayings, but it's true. The system works. We all work together and the money flows and we're all living comfortably. I say comfortably, but we've got problems, but we're fixing them. Put it this way, we're a lot better off than we were 200 years ago. But my point is, the system works. It's just the people running it. I just don't get it. Where do they get this idea that without us, this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to take care of your people. Michael, go on. What was you going to say, bro?
Oh, no, I was just going to say a rhetorical question. And it is, so before anyone complains that I've said something I shouldn't have. Isn't it funny that we haven't had someone try and kill the PM for a while?
Say that again. I
love this guy. Who doesn't love Michael?
Say that again. I didn't hear. Sorry.
It's cool.
But I just think it's a bit weird that we haven't had a assassination attempt on the PM in a while. So maybe it's about time. I mean,
the threshold will be met. Now, this is like when we used to, fireworks, where everyone celebrates Guy Fawkes. The guy was a flipping legend. I'd root for the guy. If he's going to blow up the Houses of Parliament, 100%. Right, I'm rooting for him. And I have no shame in saying the truth. When people talk about, what do you think about Christopher Columbus? I think the guy's a pirate. I think the guy went around doing what the fuck he wanted and everyone's trying to paint him as some sort of saint. The guy was crazy. Like, the guy was, he's wronging. He's a wronging. Get the facts right. Everyone's got their opinion about these people in history, but they don't really take that step back to see it for the bigger picture that it was. Yeah. Guy Fawkes, he's my type of guy. I feel like that guy,
I think I'm distantly related to him. I
don't want the building to be burnt down. I think
I'm distantly related to him, and I think that I am probably on the verge of becoming girl Fawkes.
If people like Guy Fawkes, if more people like Guy Fawkes do try and do shit like that, it does wake up to them that we're not invincible. They breathe and live the same as us, which then obviously ties into a bit of David Icke territory, where he doesn't believe they bleed and breathe the same as us, which is a conspiracy. No. So if you haven't done so already, if you're into conspiracies, you've got to check out some of the episodes we've done in the past. But apparently, the ruling elites are not human, and we as humans have been enslaved into a system that serves them to keep them at the top and keep us humans as their working slaves. But I don't want to
down the rabbit hole tonight.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole. I don't want to believe in that. But it is possible. It is something that maybe
nothing shocks me now. Nothing shocks me.
Yeah, this will shock you though. This is a bit way tangent.
Sorry, nothing surprises me. I meant
someone highlighted this to me the other day. Someone messaged me and said, "Jules, have you seen Prince Charles's fingers?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Look at Prince Charles's hands." Like, okay.
What?
So I Google Prince Charles's, like, you could do it now, just for a laugh. And there's like memes of like his wife like dreading it when he comes to bed because he's like got these massive hands and they're going to be touching it. He's like swollen fingers, like full on sausage fingers, mate. Like,
oh my god!
I'm not putting the guy down or nothing. It's just funny to see the memes. The internet's brilliant, isn't it? When it comes to comedy, I don't
know why you wouldn't like it. Then that'd be a good
Bigger finger prodding.
Pointing at her, not anything else.
Yeah, we you don't know what you mean, Michael. So yeah, we assume
Maybe he's eating
pointing.
stuff he shouldn't be doing, like peanut butter or something.
But it does make you think, like, what's going on with your massive hands, bro? Like,
Or
swollen fingers.
baby's heads or something.
Yeah, all that baby blood.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that South Park episode when they're talking about like the ruling elite? They drink baby blood, like for the adrenochrome or something like that.
I haven't seen it. No,
South Park. They love it, don't they?
I haven't seen that for years. I like
comedy
years.
is the best way. I love comedy when it talks about the elephant in the room. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got a good twist to it because it can make you laugh about it, but obviously then highlight the fact of the matter.
Plants a seed as well when they do it through comedy. It plants a seed, doesn't it?
For real, for real.
Don't be saying that. They'll be fucking get a jab on Family Guy or something.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, they have actually. This is the other thing. Going back to what we were talking about originally, they've made a Peppa Pig book about vaccinations. Peppa gets her vaccination. They've also put it in cartoons, and obviously the adverts, certain supermarket adverts have got Santa with his COVID passport in the advert, and there was uproar over that, which just shows how many people are waking up to it all. Not Ofcom, the advertising watchdog. They had so many complaints about supermarket or Tesco's advert because of how it was pushing the whole COVID agenda. And on their YouTube, it ended up getting taken down for a bit, and they actually took the dislike button off of the YouTube for the ad because there was people could visually see the majority didn't like it. There was like, I don't know, 1,800 that liked it, and then there was like, I don't know, 30 odd thousand that disliked it. So it showed visually for people.
I think that last one is a bit of a coincidence because YouTube are going to take that away.
Yeah, they are, but they actually did. People were going on and saying they couldn't dislike it.
Wow.
Yeah, but that is what YouTube is going to do for every video. So it's not just that.
So YouTube are getting
taking it away.
But some people were going on and were able to dislike it. Some people weren't. So
so they're doing it slowly. So
to be honest, I'm quite grateful there's not a dislike button, because it's the Elite Thinking Club upset a lot of people. We get so many.
I like it.
No, I think it's it's good to have that though, because nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect, and in life we've got to take the good criticism with the bad criticism.
Yeah,
and there's no growth. There's no growth without it, and you don't learn. You don't learn from anything if everything's just yes, great. There's no growth there. So we have to have we have to have a little bit of that. And
well said, Liz, well said. Which brings me on to what you mentioned before about the live press conference and all the comments that were said in the live press conference.
Yes.
So, go on, Liz.
So basically earlier there was a live press conference with Boris and also Sajid and some other lady to do with the NHS or some medical lady. Anyway, and I turned it on mute because I can't stand hearing the voices. I'm allergic to the voices. But I like to watch just for research purposes, just to see basically how the general public receive the conferences and receive the information and how they react to it from a psychological point of view, and just in general, human to human. And I sat there and watched, and every single comment that was coming through, and there was hundreds of comments coming through on this live news feed, and every single one was negative towards the government. There were people saying, quite profane in what they were saying, not very happy with what they were saying.
Whisper to me and I'll say out loud.
They were saying bollocks and
bollocks. They said bollocks.
and they were saying much worse than that. They were telling Boris and his crew to jog on, but not in that way, in the naughty way. So there were lots of people commenting with actual facts and figures. There was people commenting saying we've got to learn to live with this. There were people commenting saying, this is getting ridiculous now. This isn't just about a virus. people talking about lies. There was just so many. And I was waiting just to see if there would be any comments that came on there that would be like, you know, well done, Prime Minister, you're doing a great job. Or, you know, yes, come on, people, let's do the right thing. I didn't see one. I did not see one comment on there.
To be fair, he is doing a really good job if his job is to fuck the country up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is top marks for that.
Yeah.
100%. He's doing great at that.
Like we were saying,
yeah,
the system is...
it was just research it, like watching, and I just thought I sat there and I was like, I'm really proud right now of my fellow UK British people. Like and fellow humans, I'm really proud that you are actually seeing through this. Like, you're actually fed up with it. You're fed up with being, you know, the goalposts being moved. You're fed up with all of the lies. You're fed up with the scaremongering. And it was enlightening for me, and it was bloody great for my mental health, seeing people stand up using their voice via social media and commenting on there and saying, no, we've had enough.
Exactly. Yes,
that's right. And get me a free telly.
Right, guys, if you're watching and you're seeing this and you're agreeing with us, or even if you're not, guys, comment, let us know what you think. It really does help to move the conversation forward. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and follow us for more. Go on, Liz, what are you gonna say?
Can I just say, if there's anybody that you know, doesn't really know where to look for research or for data, the data is out there and information is out there for all of us to see. Most people have the internet, and we should be using it to our advantage. A lot of information is on the government's website, gov.uk. There's also, if anybody has any sort of questions with regards to the vaccine, or you're not sure about having it, or you just like informed consent before you choose to have it, and you'd like to find out information about it, any adverse reactions or anything, there's the yellow card scheme. There's also, you can pop into Google Pfizer analysis print, and it will come up as the first one at the PDF. If you click on the PDF, it will show you the up-to-date version to that day of any adverse reactions, anything that's happened, and there is a list of ongoing list of hundreds of conditions, and if you do the same for AstraZeneca analysis print, put that in Google, the PDF is at the top, it's the first one that comes up, click on the link, and the same for Moderna as well, analysis print. So you just literally put the name of the vaccine and analysis print and click on the first PDF that comes up, and that will show you the information that is also collated in the yellow card scheme.
There you go, Liz, you are amazing. Thank you for that.
So it's just because people should have informed consent. So please check that information. There's also the NOIDS reports. So if you Google NOIDS reports and the VAERS as well, all of the information is on there. And also you've got UK column news and GB news, which will, you know, they are like us. They think objectively, they think critically, and they talk and explore about everything that's going on. So if you like an alternative news and not propaganda, UK column news, I highly recommend, and GB news.
There you go, guys.
Laura's commented on where you said the comments. She said, I have a suspicion when that's the case that we don't see those people commenting. It's being shown to only those on the side of the fence using an algorithm to do so. It's possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think though, when it's with lives, I think it's harder for them to censor because it's coming through instantly. So I'm not sure. I'm not too clued up on the whole lives and the algorithms, but I just have a look on certain things, certain lives that I watch, and I just kind of try and learn from it and research through what I see from the comments and things. So yeah, and I know from myself, you know, on social media, certain things that I've shared and information and videos that I've shared that people may not see on mainstream media, I've been you know, given bans, I've been told to, you know, been censored because I'm sharing information, sharing the truth that they don't want out, and apparently I'm violating community standards, but I can't see how sharing the truth is violating community standards. But anyway, one must keep prevailing, carrying on.
There's never a wrong way to say the right thing, Liz. You keep going. We love that about you, but more than
I try.
So,
thank you.
Well, guys, what a great episode. Time has flown by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have we got any questions or
no questions?
No?
No, I've answered pretty much. Well, I've said pretty much everything that's been said. Laura's been everyone.
Do you feel like that literally for the past 2 years, and I feel like every day, I actually get fed up with talking about it, but don't you feel like that's all we hear about? That's all our lives are, is agenda, COVID, vaccines. Like
to me,
it just feels like.
To me, it kind of died down a little bit, and then it's just come back up.
Back up again.
Yeah, like life was kind of getting back to normal. A lot of now in a job, doing everything I need to do, and now it's like, right, mask on. It's like, really, people talking about lockdown again.
It's like you can make peace with something, and then they disrupt the peace. It's almost like they aren't happy that we're
happy.
It hasn't been a drama in a while. Create drama. There hasn't been a problem.
Do you know
in a while.
what
Create
though?
a problem. It's just like, why can't you just allow it to be?
Do you know what though? Human beings we are so powerful, and we just need to keep our vibrations high. And I know that some days it's really hard, but everything around us, there's something beautiful in every day, and we just have to keep our vibrations high, because if our vibrations are high, we can't be defeated. We can't be knocked down.
Very, very true. And also pay attention to medicine. Food is fuel. What you put into your body will contribute to how the body reacts. And all I'll say on that is, we're exploring new ways of healing. And if that's not a Easter egg, I don't know what is.
a lot of people are looking into like exactly what you just said. Looking after themselves more, Jules, and that's good.
Exactly.
That's one thing that's good.
Very, very, very good. It's time that us as a people start taking care of ourselves more and more, and not putting too much trust into the people that we have been led to believe care about us, when, quite clearly, they're not giving a shit. So let us know what you guys think. We definitely want to know what you guys think. What a great episode. Thank you everyone that's been watching, and thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us. It really does. Like, we've hit 255 subscribers on our YouTube channel right now, and that means more to us than you know, especially when, from those that have been with us from the start. It's just all about that steady growth, and the more we grow, the more we get exposed, and the more conversations we can have. And if you haven't done so already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, look at some of our previous episodes, really open that mind. We want to help expand the mind. Critical thinking is what we're about. We never want to riot, we just always want to explore. So Liz, Michael, do you have anything else you want to add to this episode tonight?
No, apart from the right thing, if I get the 75-inch telly, I'm all right.
And also, if you want to try and plan killing the Prime Minister, message Michael.
No. I said that was rhetorical. Because if it happens, I don't want nothing to do with it.
They're going to
just keep your vibrations high, people, and just remember, go watch Bug's Life, and together we are stronger.
I love that. Right, guys, I really appreciate you too, Michael, Liz. Thank you for being on the show tonight. It means a lot.
Thanks for having us.
Love that. And everyone everywhere, Elite Thinking Club, peace and love.